Hi, my name is Stacia Zimmerman, and today I'll be talking about the importance of healthy eating, health, and dieting. That is slightly redundant, but in general, I am going to talk about nutrition and how it impacts your body, especially when it comes to good and bad eating habits. Before I get started, I would like to give a visual. Um, I like to see nutrition or good and bad food eating habits as like a snowball effect. Say you're eating healthy consistently, constantly making the right choices. If you do have those sugary foods, you balance them out, or it's not as much as you eat in healthy foods. That snowball that started is not going to get any bigger than this. However, bad eating habits, as you eating cheesecake and all these sugary sweets every day, it's going to cause the snowball to get even bigger. That snowball is going to eventually go through and cause problems versus the healthy eating or the small snowball is going to do the exact opposite. The first thing I do want to talk about is bad food habits or eating habits, if you want to say that. It's actually shown that CDC has proven that those who obtain a healthy eating diet benefit and they end up living longer, reducing their chances in heart disease and even type 2 diabetes and other cancers. I do want to emphasize that one of the most common causes of heart disease and obesity is actually high consumption in sodium. Now, I'm not saying you can't have any sugary items or salty items, but I am saying that those packaged, like the first thing I think about is those packaged foods that you find in Walmart, the frozen foods that you can warm up, and they're convenient because you only have to take 5 minutes to prep them and eat it. Those is what gets us. The sellers want the buyers to buy that because it's convenient. They want to get the busy people who are constantly on their feet and going to work or in between errands or going to school and don't have the time to cook. They're getting those buyers, and it's causing a bigger issue due to the packaged products that they have with the materials that are actually higher in sodium and other components. Another point I do want to talk about is good eating habits that can actually impact or benefit maternity care for future mothers. If you do not know what maternity care is, this is when a mother is carrying a child and they want to make those healthy decisions so they have a healthy baby in the long run. If you do not know this, it's actually proven from American Heart Association that mothers who do breastfeed benefit their baby and the mother or herself because the baby will actually have a reduced chance of having allergies and actually faster development with their cognitive states, mental states. That's hence why doctors always advise the mothers to not smoke or do drugs or anything of that nature that could possibly harm the baby. Another component I do want to talk about is high cholesterol with unhealthy eating and pregnancy, how it correlates. If you do not know this, cholesterol does play a huge role in one of the biggest systems within our body, which is the circulatory system. If you not know what a circulatory system is, look it up. Just kidding. Circulatory is the blood flow in your body. And so cholesterol plays a role because that can cause your blood flow to have issues. And nobody wants high cholesterol. But high cholesterol can also come with obesity and other components. In some cases, this can be hereditary, but in others, it can just strictly be from dieting or your food choices. Excuse me. Some people do have to work to balance out their cholesterol levels, even if they are carrying a child. Say it's a mother who's carrying and she does have high cholesterol. Now, what are the chances that she might pass that hereditary trait or her trait down to her child is a percentage. However, her trying to maintain it so she has a healthy baby and less complications when a child is born is with making the right food decisions. I do want to talk about, before I conclude, I do want to talk about how my topic relates to nutrition and the scores. Like I said earlier, health does go hand in hand with nutrition. I mean, nutrition is how you balance your foods, the chemicals you eat, not eat, but what are in the materials that you do consume and the impacts or tolls that it has on your body. Whether it's good or bad, you have to be cautious because you never know what these farmers or these sellers are putting in their foods to have their targeted audience to purchase it. As you know, like I said earlier, that people do underplay this component of healthy eating. They don't take into consideration how big of a contribution that what they put in their bodies affects how they go through a day. I mean, for example, I always tell people, think about this. You wake up in the morning, you're already tired, you don't feel like going to work, and you don't eat anything. What are the odds you're going to be a little bit more crankier than what you already are? Versus you grabbing that little granola bar or something that holds you for breakfast on the way to work. You're going to still be a little cranky because you had to get up for work. However, you might be less cranky just because you got something in your system and you have a little bit of that energy to push you through the day. Another component I did find interesting or information was how added sugars are actually just as bad as consuming regular sugar when it comes to those drinks. Like back when the Coke company, sorry, I cannot pronounce stuff correctly. Coke company was making those Diet Mountain Dews, Diet Dr. Peppers, Dr. Pepper Zero, those types of materials or products that were dieted and were targeting towards those who wanted to change their lifestyle or possibly lose weight in the future. This actually did not help because they're putting in substitute chemicals in place of those sugars that you would consume in a normal drink. I did not know this because I thought diet soda, well, I mean, sounds healthier, right? But I found out through research that it really wasn't. If you do want to look more into this, I do have a couple sources. One of the big sources that I did have was for CDC. And if you do want to look into the cholesterol correlation with pregnancies and nutrition, you can actually go to DOI.org. And last but not least, my final reference was the American Heart Association. Thank you.